Hey, how's it going, everyone? It is Only here. Welcome back to another video, of course. As always, today I wanted to talk about an update on two games. One's pretty exciting, another one is a little bit disappointing, but yeah, I guess we'll go over that one first because that one did break today. It's funny because I think everyone can kind of see where I'm coming from when I say that we could spot a delay coming from like a mile away, because pretty much I woke up this morning and I was just, browsing through Twitter on my phone. And then you get hit with this Deathloop Twitter where it's like an update on the development of Deathloop, and then it's just like, this shit can only mean one thing but a delay. Like, literally, I'm just like, well, this thing's getting delayed. Didn't even have to read anything, and of course, it was delayed to Q2 of 2021. Yeah, pretty much Arcane is just taking extra time because they want to prioritize the health and safety of the development team, and I think a lot of people kind of underestimate kind of these games coming out here, because a lot of them have to go gold here within the next 2 months before they reach launch, so they don't have that much time here. And obviously Arcane made the decision to work on the game and make it a bit better. Of course, Deathloop was one of the games that was originally supposed to come out here holiday 2020, pretty much launch day. We're expecting these consoles to come out like mid-November, I'm guessing, at the latest. Usually before Black Friday is when the obvious point of time. If they release after Black Friday, I mean, maybe they could do it this year because there's not really going to be a physical Black Friday, but even then, there's no way these consoles don't hit, by mid-November, in my opinion. Maybe like 20th at the latest. I think the 20th's like a Friday, so yeah, honestly, there's a lot of rumors going around for next gen right now. It's kind of getting annoying. I'm like feeling the same kind of annoyance that I was feeling before we got that PS5 event in June. Everyone and their mothers making a fake leak. I'm just tired of it all. I just really want to have the date and price just so people can shut up. Me, I kind of will give you guys an estimate here of what I'm thinking, because I've seen a lot of people throw around $600, $500, $400, and then people like to factor the digital edition and how that will affect pricing and ultimately. So I guess before we go into the second story, which will be about Ghost of Tsushima, which I did not see coming at all, I'll give a quick estimate on like pretty much my prediction on price and the date. So I kind of touched on the date earlier. I do think these consoles will both come out in November. I mean, Xbox has already confirmed November. Pretty much, I think both of them are probably going to release on a Friday, and if you look at the time frame, there's like 3 dates that will hit before Black Friday that are going to be on Fridays. You got November 6th, you got November 13th, and then you got the 20th. So one of those 3 dates, obviously, in my opinion, is when these things will come out. If I had to make an estimate or a guess, I'd say probably the 13th to the 20th. I think, having a week advantage would be a pretty big thing, especially when you factor that Watch Dogs Legion and Call of Duty will probably come out before then. Having like the console release before the other one would be kind of like a big advantage there. We saw what that did with the PS4, at least in the beginning. It was $100 cheaper, and it came out a week prior and in more regions. So I think Sony's probably going to want to go for that again. And I think Xbox, I mean, Phil Spencer's already talked about how he doesn't want to make the same mistakes there. So I feel like it'll be pretty competitive. I feel like none of them want to go towards late November. I feel like both of them will try to hit by the 13th, in my opinion. Now, going in terms of price real quick, honestly, the way I've thought about it for the PS5 at least is that Sony's never going to do $600 again, because we saw with the PS3. Not only that, but everything they've been saying about how they want to transition, most people over to the PS5 and have that quick turnaround rate, they're not going to do that with $599. They're just not going to do that. So in my opinion, that always kind of made it sense where this thing is a premium console. It's going to be more expensive than the PS4, so it's easily going to be over $400. It's not going to be as expensive as the PS3 was at $599. So in my opinion, consoles never release at the $50 mark. So in my opinion, the PS5 will be $500, $499.99. The only thing that has kind of like an asterisk to it is the digital edition. I could see possibly Sony doing a thing where they're like, oh, the digital edition's $499, but the one with the disc drive will be $549.99. That's possible, can happen, but yeah, in my opinion, I feel like we're gonna at least have a $499.99 PlayStation 5. Maybe that's the digital edition. I still think that the disc drive might actually be $499.99, but at the same time, I say that Sony's kind of been really quiet here, and I feel like they wouldn't wait this long unless they knew it was going to be really expensive. Obviously Microsoft and Sony, they don't want to be the ones to break the news to everyone that this generation is going to be more expensive than the last one, so they're probably playing chicken right now. And yeah, we'll see which one goes first. I'm guessing it's probably going to be Sony, considering that apparently we're getting an update later this month, and Xbox, from what I've gathered based on information, they're going to be silent till September, so we'll see here. Going for the Xbox Series X, honestly, it sounds really premium. I wouldn't be surprised if it is $600, considering they could do that since they have the Xbox Series S, the Lockhart, which still has yet to be announced, which is hilarious. So yeah, honestly, in my opinion, I feel like Xbox will still want to be competitive, obviously, with price, so we could possibly still see a $4.99. They might just take a loss and focus on, Game Pass and Ultimate and all that, because that's really what they've been focusing on. They don't really care about selling Xbox consoles, according to Phil Spencer, so yeah. Anyways, let's move past all this and talk about a current generation game that still has updates going for it ahead going into the fall here. Wow, Ghost of Tsushima, man, what a surprise. I did not see this coming at all. It's going to be getting a free co-op multiplayer update, which is insane to me because Sony really hasn't done anything multiplayer-wise in a while. Like, you see this generation, they're kind of known as like the adventure, single-player kind of... I mean, that's more of a stereotype than anything, but even if you are a Sony fan and you like the games they produce, you kind of have to acknowledge that they haven't really touched multiplayer in ages. Literally, like, the last 5 games that they've made in, like, big scale... You could argue that Death Stranding has multiplayer elements, but really, like, they're not having dedicated modes. Well, Ghost of Tsushima is going to break that trend because it's getting a free multiplayer update later this year. Ghost of Tsushima Legends. So this is going to be a separate mode entirely, free for everyone that has Ghost of Tsushima. It's pretty much going to be focused on the mythics and the legends. Now, if you played Ghost of Tsushima and you know those specific kind of mystical quests where you get different moves and possibly different items in Ghost of Tsushima. Anyone that has played the story knows what I'm talking about. It's going to be kind of focusing on that kind of aspect to the game. A little bit more mystical, a little bit more, less grounded, I guess you could say. Kind of a bad word to describe it, but you know what I mean? Pretty much up to 2 to 4 players this fall with this free update are going to be able to play new missions, and yeah, they range from different difficulties. So they're going to have new co-op story missions, and then they're also going to have some survival based, and then they also said that they're actually going to add a raid a few weeks later after the initial launch of the game. So yeah, it definitely sounds cool. In my opinion, what I've gathered here, it does seem pretty fleshed out. There's going to have like 4 different classes. They said that the gameplay that you get from the single player is going to act as the foundation, so they're even going to do some wild stuff with it and still kind of do, expand upon that gameplay, which I already thought was pretty expansive enough. So yeah, considering that there's 4 classes, this thing definitely seems like, in my opinion, it seems almost like this was supposed to come out on launch day or something and maybe got pushed back. Like, this thing definitely has been a part of Ghost of Tsushima's vision, at least for a while now. They've probably been making this for years, and kind of crazy this didn't leak, honestly. Now, in my opinion, I don't think this will be like a games as a service, so you don't have to really worry about that there. I mean, it just definitely seems like something fun they wanted to do to the community, just something that they had like a passion for, and we'll see how it comes out. I mean, they do mention raid, maybe they will update this over time, but honestly, it doesn't really give me that vibe if I'm being honest. It sounds like the traditional kind of multiplayer. They're going to add, new content. What's there is there, and just let the community enjoy it. So what can you say about that? That's pretty cool. Coming out this fall. Honestly, depending on the time frame, they could time this up with possibly like a Ghost of Tsushima PS5 patch. Maybe make it kind of give some breathe new air. I mean, it is going to be obviously on the PS4, so it's nothing really, to sell the PS5 rather, but man, I'm still waiting for some like updates on what PS4 games will look like on PS5. I mean, I myself haven't even upgraded to the PS4 Pro, so I will see some differences anyway, but just would really like to know, especially some games that are already hitting 30 FPS. Oh, I say already hitting 30 FPS. I mean, all games are hitting 30 FPS. It'd be nice to see if they have, potential high frame rate modes going onto the PS5. So that's still something I'm looking out for, and maybe I feel like the games that came out this year with Ghost of Tsushima and Last of Us Part 2 are the most likely in my opinion. So that's always really cool. Ghost of Tsushima, of course, has been a phenomenal hit. I think it has like the highest rated Metacritic score for at least a PS4 game in years. I think possibly I saw the title ever before. It's been crazy, man. I mean, obviously there are the people that like to give Ghost of Tsushima a higher rating because for some reason they like to compare it to Last of Us Part 2 and they hate with that game. They want to prove that Ghost of Tsushima is a better game. It's stupid. It is very stupid, but still. Really good stuff from Suckerpunch. Easily probably their most highest acclaimed game ever, I'd say. I mean, Suckerpunch with what? Sly Cooper back in the day. Those were fun games. I mean, hell, I played them back in the day, but the stuff that we've been seeing praise-wise at Ghost of Tsushima, it's clear that Suckerpunch has kind of hit a new level, just like a lot of different studios have this generation as well. So that's always cool to see. Anyways, guys, that has been it for today's video. A little bit of an update and just a sprinkle of PS5, PS4 updates, and also some predictions. Yeah, what can I say? It's kind of crazy to think about. It's the 18th of August and we still don't have anything. Honestly, don't worry too much about that. We're gonna have Gamescom's opening night live next week, I believe, on the 28th or the 27th. I gotta confirm that real quick. Okay, the 27th. So yeah, if you don't remember, the PS4 actually got its like full UI reveal there at Gamescom back like 7 years ago. It's possible that Sony can participate in this and show some updates on that. But really, I feel like Sony will speak on their own event soon here. I don't think they're going to show off everything left for the PS5 at Gamescom of all things. That's definitely going to be like more of like a third-party venue where we get a bunch of game updates in general, not hardware updates, if you know what I mean. So, yeah. Anyways, for all the updates and more on next generation consoles, including Xbox Series X, PS5, and everything good to go in the gaming industry, make sure to subscribe to the channel, especially if this is the first video of mine you have seen. I've been online. Make sure to like the video if you enjoyed it. A follow on Twitter would be very much appreciated. I'll see you guys in the next video, and until then, take care.